Hey, it's me, Brittany B. This is about to be some African American authors and books that you need to obsess over, because I've obsessed over it and I'm super excited. So the first author and book that we should obsess over and so good is I Want to Be Where You Are by Christina Forrest. This is her debut book and let me tell you, I loved it. I read it all in one day, all in one setting. It was just that good for me. It gives you straight rom-com vibe. So it's about Chloe. She's a ballerina. She has dreams of being a dancer in this conservatory that's in New York, and her mom was like, nah, you're not gonna do it. Nope. Your dad died by a car accident, and she's just very overprotective of Chloe. And Chloe is determined. So determined, when her mother, boyfriend at the time, got them a cruise trip, she decides, well, you know, that's my opportunity. I missed the New York one. They're doing one in DC. I can drive to DC to have a whole trip. So Chloe had a plan. She had a best friend lie to her mom, saying they're going to stay over at each other's houses. And she had it all just wrapped up in a bow tie. Then, so when the day happens, she gets her mom out and is ready to go. Eli, her neighbor, which is a tall, handsome former basketball player, who someone you'd be like, oh my gosh, Eli is so handsome. But anyways, but yeah, he decides he needs to go with her because he needs to go to he decides to blackmail Chloe into letting him ride with her on the trip and drop him off at the train station so he can go visit his dad. And Chloe has no other choice. And that's where the big ordeal happens. With no spoilers, I'm just gonna say the road trip is fun. It's a good rom-com, and they might develop something, they might not, but it's a growing lesson. Chloe grows, Eli grows, even I think the parents at the end, they grow and learn. So it's a really good book. I love it. I'm obsessed over it. I just love the vibe, the way the author writes. Like, it's really relatable with just different songs, just the way they speak. It's just black girl magic. I'm just gonna put it out there. The second book I'm gonna obsess over is Slave. Just such a good book. I mean, and it was just so like, it was just so black girl magic. And you know what, I'm not gonna just say black girl magic the whole time, but it was just the blackest book that I've read in a minute. And I just feel like her writing was relatable, and then to create this world that I now know is kind of based on the Black Panther and Wakanda with the themes, it was just so in detail. I am not even a gamer, but I wanted to play that game. I was like, oh my gosh, can they make that game in real life? Please. Can someone make this book into a movie? Please, because this is just epic. It was epic. It was good. The main character was relatable. It had all types of characters, all types of representation for black people and thoughts and just patterns, and then just showing the climate of the day and how different people think. I felt like it was just amazing. I freaking loved it. Slave book by Brittany Morris is definitely a must read. And her name is Brittany and my name is Brittany, so I was like, we got these vibes. The Brittany's are doing it. Okay, so another black author who we should definitely obsess with is the author of The Children of Blood and Bones. And I was talking earlier about how back when I was like in high school, only type of like black books, teen YA black books, it was really in the genres of like drama. This is the genres of fantasy, and it is epic. It is life. It is what I live for. I wasn't even prepared for it, honestly. Like, I saw the cover, I read the description of the book, and I was like, okay, sounds interesting, let me give it a try. It just starts off with in the jump with like action with the main character. I'm not gonna get too much into it. It was a big huge book. I don't have no spoilers or anything, but it did get picked up to be a movie. Oh, I love it. And the sequel to it comes out in December. What? I am here for it. It has 3 points of views, which is my first time reading a book with 3 different points of views, and I loved it. Like, I knew once I read from each character who the character was by the way they were talking, and there wasn't really a character that I didn't like. So I was excited to hear from all of the aspects. Sometimes I wanted to hear another character because something really juicy happened. I'm like, I want to know what they want to think about it, and then go to something else. But in the end, it was just such an epic book. It's such a book for the culture, and it's an author that we need to swoon over. Like, it's so good. With the Fire on High, oh my gosh. This is an author that you need to just be obsessed over. She had Poet X as her first book, and then this one. I mean, this is so good. And let me tell you, this is another book that got picked up to be a movie. Are you freaking kidding me? Like, all these books are becoming movies. Like, in a world where all we see in movies now are a bunch of reboots, I'm so happy that we're going to be able to get something fresh and something just... She's basically a foodie, and she has like this special like gift, kind of like match that knows to put in the food, and she's going through life. She's a high school mother. I think she had like a 4-year-old or 3-year-old daughter. I read this book like early in the year. I think I already did a review on it, so like if you want to know my full opinion on it, you can watch that video. I have that link below, and it was just awesome. This is an author that you definitely need to swim over, be obsessed over, because I definitely am obsessed. And here is a male author. This is The Opposite of Always. Ooh, these are some books from Justin A. Reynolds. Now, I personally have not read this book, but I have seen so many awesome reviews on it. The plot of the book just won me over. If you're looking for a book written by a black man about love and dealing with loss and all types of things, then The Opposite of Always is definitely your book you need to swoon over, you need to obsess over. We can read it together, but hey, Black Boy Joy. Hey, in another book, I started reading it. I haven't read the whole thing yet, but the parts that I read, I love. I'm like, if Alice in Wonderland was in Atlanta, and that's basically what this book is. Ella McKinney, and it already has a sequel out, so when you get done with this and you love the character so much, you're like, I want to hear more, you can read more because there's another one out. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to read this. I have not read it yet, but like, just the gist of having a black retelling of Alice in Wonderland based in Atlanta, that's just another book. Is Dear Haiti, Love Elaine. I haven't read this yet, but I'm super excited about it. She gets suspended from school and shipped off to Haiti to do a report, and I think she falls in love. She deals with stuff, she grows up, and I mean, look at her. Look at that chocolate goddess over there. I mean, she's a chocolate goddess. So, another book you should swoon and obsess over in the fantasy genre with rich black characters that like describe them in ways that are not a food. They describe them with such detail, you know, making beautiful, luscious, full lips and a beautiful, luscious, bigger nose, and like in dark skin as like a really good quality. Because you know, sometimes people like look down on the fuller lips, the bigger nose, the different features that African Americans have, and you know, for a book to make them in the most beautiful light is something that I'm just obsessed over. So it's The Daughters of Neri, and it's from Rena K. Amayo. I might have the name wrong, please forgive me if I did. I'm excited to listen to it because I got the audiobook on Audible and I'm super excited for it. I think it's like 11 hours or 8 hours. It's really long. I've honestly never listened to a book on Audible before, or an audiobook, so I'm excited for that journey on its own. And I have like trips coming up, so I'm gonna have that playing in the background. I feel like I need to be somewhere where like I'm sitting down for a long time to listen to it because my mind gets like distracted. So I'm super excited. Here's a little snippet about what it's about. A gruesome war results in the odd guy's departure from the earth. The only remnants of their existence lies in two girls, twins, separated at birth, goddesses who grew up believing that they are human. Daughters of Nari explores their epic journey of self-discovery as they embark on a path back to one another. I mean, that just looks awesome. I mean, then look at the cover. That looks awesome and amazing. Lastly, I have this book on hold at the library, sitting here patiently waiting for it to come, but it's another fantasy because, I mean, I love me a good fantasy. Super excited. I just like the whole element of how she's just sitting on the chair, so elegant, queen-like, and I'm just here for all of it. And we need to be obsessed over it. We need to get... I'm here for all of it. Let's just get... It was about magic as a prize if you're willing to pay. The lush world building of Children of Blood and Bone meets the sweeping scale of Strange to Dream in this captivating epic YA fantasy debut. Born into a family of powerful witch doctors, Aurora yearns a magic of her own. I mean, first of all, they mentioned Children of Blood and Bones, and you know how much I love that book. So that's what sold me from the beginning. Like, if it's have any correlation to that type of vibe, I'm here for it. Okay, that is it for my Black authors and books to obsess over. There's so many others out there. I couldn't mention them all. But thank you for watching my video, and if you know any African American books in the genre of horror, please let me know, because I want to read a really good one, because I currently kind of want to write one and I want to read one too. Thank you for watching the video. I'll be back. Please like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Got that below.